Russ Rogg is with us this morning. He is the president and CEO here at Metroflors. Russ, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for being with us today. We appreciate it.
Well, it's great, and I'm glad I caught you early in the morning here. It was pretty crowded in here yesterday.
That's correct. We had a really strong afternoon yesterday. I think the morning was a little slow, but we were very pleased with the traffic as the day went on. So very productive for us.
As many people as I ask, well, how do you suppose it works in here? Do people start at the top, go to the bottom, and everybody's got a different answer?
I think that what you just described is what we believe takes place most commonly. We've heard from many that they start up on the 10th floor and work their way down. So I think that has in large part to do, or what we felt as a result, that it picked up kind of around lunchtime and then carried stronger throughout the day. But the morning, as I said, was light, probably because most people were upstairs.
What have you seen out in the marketplace? What is happening? What are your customers telling you?
Yeah, I think in general terms, and it's probably fairly known within the industry, is that the LVT category continues to be very, very robust and very strong. We're certainly seeing that too. A good majority of our business, Dave, comes from the multifamily market. We also see another large percentage of our business done through traditional retail outlets that sell our products into Main Street commercial opportunities. And I think what we're seeing now, though, at least for our organization, is a greater penetration into what we would call traditional specified commercial opportunities, whether they be for healthcare applications, hospitality, retail, and so forth. And that, frankly, Dave, had in large part to do why we participated in Neocon last year for the first year. This is now our second year back at Neocon, and I think the seeds that we planted last year have begun to grow, and our hope is that we can just continue that momentum as we come here now for our second year.
Talk a bit, if you would, about the company, Metroflors, a little bit of its history and so on.
Yeah, Metroflor has kind of a very long history, quite frankly. The organization is a family-held business owned by a family with the last name Stone. The chairman of our organization is Norman Stone, who really began to source and have manufactured LVT products originating from the Far East as long as 40 years ago. So when most people really didn't even know that LVT was a category, he was pioneering that. And, you know, the benefit that we have today is that we have wonderful manufacturing partners. We have a great history, again, as pioneered by Norman Stone. And we have a wonderful distribution network. And that really has a lot to do, I think, with why we're so successful today. We deal with, I think, probably 20 of some of the best distributors in North America. They inventory our products, they promote our products, they take that product to market, brand it on our behalf or market it on our behalf, and we're reaping the rewards of their hard work.
It seems like overnight LVT became the hottest product category of all times, all over the world. Went to the show in Shanghai a couple of years ago, and everybody in the place seemed to have it. How has that affected you, having so many people join the fray?
You know, on one hand, it certainly has made competition more robust. There are more players now that are offering LVT products that just a few years ago weren't. But at the same time, I think it does lend credibility to the category, where as before, maybe 3 or 5 years ago, we were one of maybe just a small handful promoting the attributes of LVT. So the one advantage of having more entrants into the game is that it does raise the bar, it raises the awareness, it raises credibility for the product, and frankly, our business has continued to grow. So it hasn't, I wouldn't say, negatively affected our business by the nature of there being more competitors in the arena. That could certainly change, but at the end of the day, I think we think it's good for the industry, good for the category, because everybody's out there promoting the wonderful attributes of LVT.
And you're getting your share.
I'd like to think that we're getting maybe a little more than our share. I should say we're bullish and optimistic. We had a very successful, I think, 2012. We've had a wonderful start to this year so far. So we have no reason to think that the category isn't going to continue to grow, and we'd like to think that we are positioned nicely to get our fair share, as you say.
Now, is it technology that really makes LVT the hot product? As you mentioned, it's been around a long time. I guess digital printing, sure. It's available in unique sizes as compared to the way it was historically. Are those the big factors?
I think so. Earlier on, I would argue that the value proposition of LVT is what began to make it popular. It is a wonderful performing product for the amount of money that it costs per square foot. From its beauty, from its aesthetic qualities, from its performance, care and maintenance is obviously very easy. It performs well in adverse conditions related to moisture, where some other products may not be as well suited for those environments. So that, I think, is the base foundation for why LVT is so popular. Now what we're seeing is the evolution of enhanced designs, enhanced embossings, larger formats, more aesthetic attributes to the product that maybe weren't there a few years ago. And now, and we'd like to think that we are somewhat of a pioneer in the floating LVT arena, with our first entrant into that category, which was our Konecto platform, and we've expanded upon that. Today, I would say that about 50% of our business is done in what I would call traditional glue-down, dry-back LVTs, and therefore the other 50% is now evolving into floating varieties, whether it's with our Konecto. One of the fastest-growing products that we have at the moment is our Engage LVT, which is a click LVT. And then here at this show, we are really, I guess, using this as a launching pad for a loose lay variety, which we're also seeing those become very, very popular as well. So I think that is another, hard to argue shift that we're seeing in the business today, is that more and more people are embracing the floating varieties of LVT. And the best part is that even while that is occurring, even the traditional glue-down products still continue to grow. So there's no cannibalization. It's just both growing.
I want you to show us some of these new products that you talked about.
I'd love to.
First, let me ask you, the growth of LVT is coming from someplace. Is that primarily carpet, or is it something else?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think that, as I mentioned earlier, a good portion of our business comes from multifamily environments. So I think in that arena, it probably is coming at the demise of carpet. But if you look at other applications, whether it be hospitality, retail, education, in those instances, I think it might be to the demise of other hard surface product categories. So I guess the answer is a little bit of both. Depending on where the ultimate application is, that will dictate what products maybe are being replaced, where LVT now is being used in lieu of those other alternatives.
Tell us a bit about the new products, and then I want you to show them to us.
Yeah, sure. I'd like to talk, I guess, a little bit about, and I mentioned it a moment ago, a new loose lay product. And again, we're one of a handful of manufacturers that are providing a product of that type. For us, it's I would argue that it's the third leg in the stool of our floating platform. As I mentioned, we have a grip strip product, which is called Konecto. We have a click LVT product that is called Engage. And now we have a loose lay product that we're calling Intact. And Intact, again, much like some of the other loose lay products, are intended to be installed without adhering the product to the floor, and they also require no mechanical locking system of any sort from the edges of the plank or tile to one another. So it's a fast, easy installation. We're recommending it primarily for commercial applications, and there's a couple unique attributes about the product that I'd like to maybe point out to you if I could.
So let's show it to us, if you will.
Okay. So, Dave, as I was mentioning before, one of the new products that we're really using Neocon to launch or garner awareness is a new loose lay product from Metroflors called Intact. The name Intact is actually a literal play on the intent of how the product is supposed to install. The beauty is that as a loose lay product, you can lay it on the floor, and it has special attributes on the underside of the plank or tile that help keep the product in place or keep it from shifting. I'm not quite sure how well this will show up on the camera, but this is a sample, if you will, of the underside of an Intact plank or tile. And it has a couple unique attributes that we're promoting here at the show. The first is a very unique embossing. It's basically like a tire tread-like wave embossing on the underside of the product. And it's coupled with another technology, both of which, by the way, are patent pending, and that is a thermoplastic rubber hot melt adhesive that is on the underside. We're referring to this as a dry glue or an anti-skid adhesive. You'll notice that as I touch it, it doesn't transfer to your finger, so it's very easy to work with. As the installer is laying the product, it won't transfer to the decorative side of the plank or tile. But when you lay it on the floor, it does a wonderful job of keeping the product in place. We're offering this product at the moment, at least as we launch it, in 12 wood grain planks in a 6-inch by 48-inch format, as well as 6 tiles in a 12 by 24-inch format. That rectangular tile, I might add, is becoming very, very popular, not just in this offering, but as well as many of our other LVT categories. It is a 4-millimeter thick product. It is reinforced with a fiberglass mid layer. and it also is made from pure virgin vinyl. We've chosen to use virgin vinyl versus recycled content because the dimensional stability is much more reliable using that type of a platform. So this is a product that we previewed at Surfaces. We're using this really as the true launching pad, and at the moment our customers are reviewing the product line, and we hope to see this in the marketplace very, very shortly.